light a video answering a lot of questions here. So, how does magic with angels really work? And I will show you something that happened to me last night when I was in the attic, and it's around 15 minus degrees Celsius at night, and there are homeless people, and I usually leave them. Since Sweden is a country where water is shut off, so if people are homeless or something, the water costs just as money to buy a beer or something else, and they wonder why they have problems. That human thing of having access to at least one place in a whole city where you have free water to drink from, like a drink fountain. They removed everything so that homeless people and unwanted people couldn't get free toilet or free drink. So I bring out water jugs, and so people can get clean water to drink, and I just place them somewhere and they put the empty back, and then I fill it up again. So one was having an asthma attack. It's dusty and there's no heating in the attic and or in the cellars of these houses and so on. And all I had was that I could bring out my kettle to boil up. There is some electricity in my own where you have the nets and it's locked. So I boiled some water in there, and then I didn't know, I had a towel so they could wrap around his head so he could breathe it in. And when I was doing that, boiling water and bringing up things, this fell up. This is two old fishermen. Somebody must have been, this looks like years old. They are not. And this fell into the water, and he was really feeling bad, so I put it in the boiled water. Since it fell into my hands, so I thought that this is the angels working. So there were 4 of these in the kettle. And he started breathing in, and he got the relief, and he didn't need hospital. It's difficult when you're paperless. And after 40 minutes, he was all right. And I just thought that I must tell you about this, how the angels can work. That above all, there are like these fences and so on. So somewhere from nowhere, this dropped down in front of me just when I was doing this. And I believe that this was an help from a spirit to save that poor young man. So then I'm going to answer some other questions. And can you change your mind during ritual? Yes, I have. That has happened to me. I go in with an intent, and when the angels, I might feel something is off, then I change. And sometimes they change the magic for me, and they tell me, and I get it. That goes when you are not in. When you are willing to listen to the angels help you to perform another ritual instead. And how about planetary and astrological timing? Since I practiced this for so many years, I wanted to learn it, I wanted to do it, I want to be good at it. And then when I finally started to feel that I got this together, then angels started to give me, let's say, what I should do, where nothing was really needed. So it was just combining angels from different things, and it had not so much to do with planetary anymore or timing. So, and that can change to everyone, but I think that it's good to have the basics down, and then the angels teach you what they want to teach you. And if you want to gain study and wisdom, you can do so, but don't go over your head. And if you speak German or French, why would you write a petition for an angel in Latin if you don't read Latin? That makes no sense at all. So you speak the language that is most common to you, or some other language you have studied and learned. And I put a great deal of writing my petitions in Enochian language, since I love the letters. I think they are beautiful, and in classical Hebrew as well. And there's no need to do that. I use the Enochian tables to scry on. I look at this, since it's the map of the world and so on, and I know the letters, and I have the ABC and what is each letter, and knowing that is far enough, good enough. Especially when you're connecting, you don't have to write sentences and everything in the beginning. You can if you want to, but it's not a must. The angels tell you what to do and what they want you to do, and it's different for everyone. And it is just like that. If you're practicing piano, don't expect to become a plumber right away. And that is that people use angels for asking, and they know the piano, and they look down at what a plumber does. And they just say that, teach me how to do plumbing on a house. And the angel can't do that, since you haven't studied plumbing. You can maybe look at the video how a plumber works with different situations, and the angel might give you advice. But don't go in there and expect the magic to do everything. And practice and study and ask for help, and then you repeat it after a while. I live that way, by the way. And then everything, science, music, arts, crafts, law, psychology, maths, and practical teaches how to repair a water pump, to how to everything. You can ask about everything, especially when you want to help others. And I think that one of the best ways, especially in Enochian, angels ruling over the 4 elements, since you have each element has 4 ruling angels. Let's say that the element of the south in Enochian rules over air, fire, water, and earth. So you get 16 angels there to learn from when working with the elements. It's your alchemy, it's soul level, it's philosophy, but it's also out in nature. What you can learn from nature within those things, and it is all over the world. So I think that is a very powerful work to learn from the elemental angels who looks over all the elementals around the world. So if you're into shamanic work and so on, there might be some great help there. And as a Greek Orthodoxy base, that every grass root has its own angel, and every tree has its own angel, and we go on like that. So everything has a spirit, and everything that is created has a spirit, and there's a hierarchy and order, and you can always climb up and ask for more help in whatever case it is. And then I received these questions from praying. And praying from the heart and writing your prayers. You can, when you write prayers, you can use verses from the Bible. You can put in your wishes. But most time, what is most important is that when you just are in emotional distress and you blurt out from heart, and that's when somehow magic can take a turn, and you perform magic without knowing it when the angels are present. Since it was so filled with emotions and why you want it, and it's not like the grimoire, do this, do that. It comes from your heart, and you are telling the angels of all the problems and why you want to help, and suddenly you just have a knock on your shoulder, hey, the magic is done, and I asked, I'm there crying and it didn't understand it, that it was already done. I was so upset over the situation. Hey, it's done. Stop crying. It was just like that. So how the angels would do everything, I don't know, but I know that they can do and they can help. So, with the magic of this dinosaur fisherman's friend that I think are maybe 30 years old by the looks of it, and I went in and looked in the attic, and he's healthy today and didn't have breathing problems throughout the night, so I'm so grateful for that. So, have a magical, magical day and be inspired and let those questions come in. I love to answer them. Bye for now.